Hi everyone! We're like a little halfway into 2020 and as per usual, I am very behind on my reading goal. Like this year's actually really bad. I think it took me like the first 4 months to read 2 books. I have not been doing as much reading as I should have, although this month I read 3 books, so I'm catching up, but luckily, every year in summer there is this wonderful thing called the Reading Rush. Honestly, the Reading Rush is probably the only reason I managed to finish my reading goals by the end of the year. It's just great because it forces you to read more. It's always very stressful but very fun at the same time. So obviously this year I'm participating again. I think it's my 3rd time or 4th time. I have bad memory. Anyways, we're just gonna get into it. The first challenge this year was to read a book where the cover matches the color of your birthstone. I was born in October. I am a Halloween baby. So I had the option of going for opal or tourmaline. So basically like pink or holographic book covers. For this one I picked a book that I've been wanting to read for a really long time, and it's also like not a super long book, which is always what I'm going for during the Reading Rush. We're not gonna read 700-page books here. We're just, yeah. So the book I chose is beautiful and pink, and I don't own it yet, but I've ordered it. It is called Tokyo Ueno Station. It's written by Yu Miri. It's a translated work. I was wondering whether I should read it in Japanese, but then I was like, not in the Reading Rush. Because that's gonna take too long. I'll read to you what it's about. A surreal, devastating story of a homeless ghost who haunts one of Tokyo's busiest train stations. So it's about this person who has died and now is like a ghost. And from what I can tell, it's sort of this ghost telling their life story. It's said to be really depressing. Really depressing, but also really thought-provoking. It's probably one of those stories where I'm gonna be thinking, why do bad things happen to good people? It's like one of those. Also, the perspective of a homeless person I think is very interesting, and I really want to read this. I just have really high hopes for this book. I hope I'm not gonna be too depressed reading it. Usually I try not to pick depressing books for the Reading Rush just because those tend to take longer to go through, but it's not a very long book, so yeah, I'm really excited to read it. Next up, we have a book that starts with the word the. Now, I had a lot of options for this one because I was looking through my Kindle. I've downloaded a lot of ebooks and a lot of them start with the, but a lot of the books that start with the are like really long epic fantasies. We're not doing that in a week's time. We don't have the time. So instead I went for something a little different. I went for a book that I've also been wanting to read for like quite a while. The reason I haven't bought it is because it's like a little more expensive because it's illustrated, but it just looks so pretty and the story looks so beautiful and important that I was like, I need this. It's a book called The Prince and the Dressmaker. I've heard some people talk about this on BookTube before, so maybe you know it. It's this story about a prince who really just likes dressing up in beautiful, elegant dresses, and a girl who wants to become a clothes maker, a designer, really. The two of them kind of like come together and form a team where the both of them can just chase their dreams together. And yeah, man, I just can't wait to read this, and then when I have children, I'm gonna read it to my children and it's gonna be great. And it's such a beautiful message of accepting who you are. I really like the drawing style as well. It just looks so pretty. Yeah, I splurged on the hardcover. That also hasn't come in the mail yet, but I've ordered it. I hope those are going to be on time. Then number 3 is read a book inspired by a movie that you have already seen. Now, I thought about a lot of options for this one, but eventually I went with a book that I already owned because that, you know, I need to read the books that I already own, okay? I need to not buy more books. And that's Animal Farm by George Orwell. I read 1984 by George Orwell and I quite liked that. And Animal Farm is one of those books that like seem like they're right up my alley, you know? Animals taking control, beating down the humans. I love that. I haven't watched the movie. I know there's a 1999 movie that apparently isn't that good. I watched the trailer and it just looked kind of funny. I should probably watch the movie before the reading rush starts. I had some other options, like maybe I was gonna read The Circle by Dave Eggers, because I love Dave Eggers' writing, but I didn't really like the movie The Circle, so I don't really feel motivated to read the book, so that didn't make sense. I thought about the Chronicles of Narnia as well, but then like I'd have to buy the books and stuff, and like I have Animal Farm. Here it is. I own it. So wait, hold on. Why don't I just read what I already own? You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm just gonna read Animal Farm, which means I'm gonna have to watch that 1999 movie as well. That doesn't look that good. This is probably gonna be a repeat of last year when I read The Call of the Wild and then I watched The Call of the Wild movie, which was a really, really bad movie. But the book was good. Yeah, anyways. We're reading Animal Farm. The next one is like a physical challenge. It's read the first book you touch. I don't know how I'm gonna do this one. The other books that I own that I haven't read are either really, really long or they're like sequels to stuff that I haven't read the first books from. I don't know why I keep doing this. I keep buying sequels. It's a problem. Basically what I'm thinking of doing is once all my books are here, I'm going to line them up and then close my eyes, and the first book I touch is going to be the first book I read. That's going to be my way of doing it, I think. That's how I've interpreted it for now. So yeah, you'll see me pick that book once my Reading Rush blog is up, which will be not for a while. Then number 5, read a book completely outside of your house. I like this one. I'm very lucky to be staying with my parents for the time being, and they have a beautiful garden. It's like the best place to read. If there's no mosquitoes, it is. I haven't decided yet which one of my books I'm going to read there. Then challenge number 6 is to read a book in a genre that you want to read more of. This one I had quite a hard time because I feel like I do read quite varied. Like when there is something I want to read more of, I just read more of it. So I was really like struggling to find what I really wanted to do with this, and then I realized that there is a genre that I haven't read many books in that is weird, that I haven't read many books in that genre because it seems right up my alley, and that is middle grade. I find it weird that I haven't read that many middle grade stories, specifically because my favorite books are books where the protagonists are children or like, you know, like pre-teens, like, you know, where there's like still that like childlike innocence. The first novel that I ever wrote as well, the protagonist was a child. I really like stories with, you know, children as protagonists, and I just think it'd be fun because I'm sure it's going to be like a little more whimsical and a little more silly than perhaps YA or adult fiction would be. So I'm quite excited to read something like that, and I did have some books on my TBR. This book I actually already own. I downloaded it onto my iPad. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This book has like pretty good reviews, and it seems a little like mysterious, whimsical, like a cool kind of adventure story. It's got magic in it. The book tells how Luna, after being raised by a witch, must figure out how to handle the magical power she was accidentally given. She must control her powers before it's too late. You know, magic. Sounds cool to me. And then for the final challenge, read a book that takes place on a continent that is not the continent where you live. This one, I'm just gonna pick Tokyo Ueno Station because it's set in Tokyo and I don't live in Japan anymore. Last year I was living in Japan at this point still, but I'm in Belgium, which is Europe. So there you have it. Those are the 7 challenges that I have managed to fit into 4 books. I probably could have fit all the challenges into 3 books, but I thought 3 books isn't impressive enough. So I was like, I need at least 4 books. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading Tokyo Ueno Station by Yu Miri. I'm gonna read The Prince and Dressmaker by Jen Wang. I'm gonna read Animal Farm by George Orwell. And I'm gonna read The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. So those are the 4 books that I'm gonna be reading. I'm not gonna do more than that because I do work full-time, and I'm also trying to finish my own novel. I'm pretty busy. I don't want to overdo it. I think 4 books is the perfect challenge for me, where it's gonna be stressful and hard, and I'm gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things to make it work, but it's gonna be doable. Gonna do it, hopefully. If you're also doing the Reading Rush, please let me know what you're reading. I watch a lot of Reading Rush videos during the Reading Rush as well. Like, I love watching people's TBRs and like seeing what they do with the challenges, and I love the vlogs and like the little video challenges. Oh yes, that's also a thing, right? I think usually every year they do like video challenges and Instagram challenges and stuff like that. I might be participating in those as well, depending on how overwhelmed I am with the schedule and all that. The last couple of years I did do some video challenges, and I also did one of the Instagram challenges, which was really fun. I'm also going to be vlogging the experience because I love rewatching those videos because it's such a like weird week of your life that you're documenting. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can look forward to that. But yeah, I guess I'll see you once the Reading Rush starts. Bye.